Okay, I hate speaking in front of groups, but here we go. Usually there are people that can't hear me, and so it's much more comfortable. Okay, the food was great, so thank you. What was her name that did the food? Thank you. It was delicious. I'm going to start out with, it's true, I grew up in Minnesota for 20 years, and then I married a wonderful man who's still a wonderful man. And we're divorced now, but then I married into Iowa, which was woo-hoo-hoo, married into Iowa, and I was there for 20 years. So 20 years in Minnesota, 20 years in Iowa, and now I always wanted to go down south where it was warmer, and God heard me, gave me my wish, and here I am. It is warmer here. So God does listen to you. Okay. So I'm going to start off with a funny, true story that happened a couple years ago. I was in Manly, Iowa, and it was my 4th year at this home. And a woman had called me, and she was in her 80s. And she said, you know, I was wondering if you could come out to our farmhouse. She said, my husband is in his 90s, and I think it's, you know, time that he comes to your home. She said, you know, he's falling a lot. He can't bathe himself, he's starting to where I have to feed him, he's starting to wander where I have to go out and look for him. And she said, you know, my sons aren't coming like they used to, I'm wondering if you can come and see him. And I said, sure, you know, I'll be out there today. So I went out to her farm that day, and you know, I didn't think about what I was wearing. I was wearing a long black skirt. I was wearing, you know, a long black coat, black heels. Didn't really think much about it, and she comes to the door, and she's a sweet, sweet lady, and she was in her walker, and she said, you know, come on in. She goes, I think he's in the kitchen. So I go into the kitchen, and her husband's not there. And she goes, well, maybe he's in the back porch. And so I go out to the back porch, and he's not there. And so I see that he's out walking towards the fields. And so I click in my little black heels and my little black skirt, and I go out to the fields, and I call for this gentleman, and I can't remember his name at this time, but I call for him, and he can't hear me, of course. So I run out there after him, and I call out to him again, and I startle him. And he jumps, and he turns around, and he says, who are you? And I said, well, my name is Shanna. And he said, well, for a minute there, I thought you were the angel of death. And I said, no, sir, I'm just a girl down the street from the care center. And he said, well, shit, that's worse. After that, and he did end up getting home health care. He didn't end up coming with me because I didn't have the heart. I ended up liking him way too much to make him come live with me. So he ended up getting home health care, and you know, that was that. But I really did like him. But after that, my friends would always tease me, you're worse than the angel of death. So, yeah. Anyway, I love doing what I do, and I'm here in Muleshoe because I was told that this place needed some cleaning up. But when I got here, there's people here. The residents are perfect, and there's people here with hearts of gold, and there's some policies and there's some procedures out of place, and we're going to get those fixed, definitely. But what we are doing that's really, really good, and those are fixable, but what we are doing that's really, really good is we're going to be doing stuff that what I love to do is we're making this facility back into a home. And that's what my main concern is, and that's what I love to do. And this 300 hall, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous hall. It's been closed down for a few years. It used to be the Alzheimer's unit. It's got huge rooms. And usually when you go into a nursing home, you'll see a tiny, tiny, tiny little closet room, and like 2 or 3 people are sharing this room. And that's not what we're going to do anymore. We're opening up this 300 hall, and we're going to let, even if you're on welfare, you can have this private room if it's open. And this room used to be like a couple $100s a night. I'm not charging that in Muleshoe, Texas. I'm going to charge it $140 if you're private. I'm going to charge the same if you're on welfare. You can still have it. You can make it into a mini apartment. Our first resident just moved in there. She has a love seat, a little kitchenette, a queen-size bed from her own house, a dresser from her own house, and we're going to make these little mini-size apartments, and you can just move in there, and we'll take care of you just as if you're in a nursing home. And that's going to be the whole hall, and we have 12 of those rooms, and they've been empty forever. So we're going to make it more home-like, more friendly. We just put in a $3,000 salad bar. We didn't buy it. It's just as big as a dinner bell salad bar. We found it in storage. It's gorgeous. And we're putting that out for the staff and the residents so they can have fresh vegetables. I believe that you should have fresh vegetables. You should have pickles. You should have peppers. They're just as cheap as frozen stuff you get out of the jar. So we just started that last Tuesday. Staff wants fresh vegetables. They only pay $1 for it. So we're starting little things. I believe that if you used to watch baseball with your husband on Sundays with a 6-pack of beer, you should be able to do that if they're in the nursing home. I know this is a dry county, but you can go to Clovis and get it. I did learn that in the last 5 weeks. I just believe that if you grill out with your family on a Sunday, we should be able to put a grill out there, and you can still grill out with your family, still grill out with Grandpa and Grandma, still have the life you had, bring your dog, and still have a life with your family, even if they're in the nursing home, and it shouldn't be institutionalized. And that's what, when we get these systems put back in place, which we've had a hard time doing in the last 5 weeks, but when we do, I believe that we should be bringing family back, be bringing the grilling, the 6-pack of beer, the baseball, the football, everything back, and it shouldn't be so clinical and it shouldn't be so hard. And that's what I'm here for. And so, if anybody has any questions or concerns, you can always call me. I always give out my cell phone number. People call me at night. And if you ever want to write that down, it's 641. Get it now or never get it. It's 641-257-8442. If you have a family member that just wants to spend a respite weekend with us, they can also do that for $80 a night. We get a doctor's order, and if you have Grandpa and Grandma that just want to spend a weekend with us while you go on vacation and you have no one to watch them, we do it for $80 a night and they get full nursing care. We just started that as well. So give me a call and I will help you out. Thank you. I'll give them beer.
Anybody have any questions for Shanna?
Like, how many residents do you have now, and what's the capacity, or where do you see that it's at a good level?
The capacity, I believe, is 74. We had 40. I had 2 residents that came in the last 2 days, and I've got another one coming in this week. I don't think I'd want over 60. Just because I want residents to have room to breathe. I don't want to pack them in like sardines. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't think I'd want to get over 55 or 60. I think I would stop at a certain amount. It's not about the money. It's about, that's my opinion. Now the board could like shoot me dead and say, the board could push me down and say 74. But I mean, I think that if you put it at capacity, it would just be an institution. You know what I mean? You wouldn't even know the people that you're taking care of. I think you should set it at a certain limit.
Well, will it pay its way at 60?
It'll pay its way at 45. Mm-hmm. It'll pay its way at 45, especially when you have skilled people, because skilled people, when they're on Medicare, you're making $300 to $400 a day on them. You know what I mean? Just with their therapies alone. You know, you get 60 people in there and you're just going to be making hand over fist. You know, you don't want to really get more people than that, because that just cuts the quality of care down. But if I get questioned by the next board meeting, I'm going to say, you're lying. I never said that. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say that. But, yeah, I think so anyway.
Any other questions? Any comments, concerns, ideas?
Yeah, and if you guys have any ideas, I'd love to know them.
Well, we're glad you're here, and we hope you get it. Sounds great. It sounds like you have great ideas.
Thank you.
Do they still have
Speaking to a group.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We can get you an application, too.
Oh, we've already hit her up about being a member. Mike, did you have a
do
question?
they still have the dialysis center out here?
They do, and I think that's great. And there's talks, and maybe you guys could help us decide. We think a child care center would be kind of cool there for the residents, to be grandpas and grandmas, and maybe a really nice care center there for kids. Down the road, when their contract's up, I'm not sure. Do you guys have a good care center here?
Yeah, we've got a couple of
Do ya? So you don't need one?
I don't.
Actually, JD,
I'm being very careful. You hear what I'm being today? Jack, you think this is all confidential. He'll put it out on the doggone TV.
And that was the program about the Parkview Nursing Care Center and the many improvements that are being made there. And Shanna Laughton is the interim administrator, and we welcome her to Muleshoe and the Parkview Nursing Care Center. She presented the program Tuesday at noon to the Muleshoe Rotary Club.